horrible secret, really, that her family owned, of all places, Auschwitz.
We'll come back to that in a second, and keep your calls coming to Lily. Been made public. Much of the land that the Nazi concentration camp Auschwitz was built on was actually owned by a Jewish family. The Germans took everything, of course, from the Jews, and probably in their own twisted way, they thought that building what amounted to a giant killing machine on Jewish land was a particularly ferocious rebuke to their race. And in a minute, talk to this woman, who now knows that these scenes were filmed on her family's land.
Well, this is Sipora Frank. Hello, Sipora. You've taken part in a film which is being shown tonight, in which you basically learn that Auschwitz is on your family land.
Yes, part of Auschwitz.
Now you live in Israel, but
Yes.
you went over to Auschwitz for the film.
Yes.
Why did you do it? Why did you make the film?
I had two reasons. The first reason was because my mother was never talking about it. She was silent about the subject for all these years. But I knew there was a secret. I knew that my grandfather owned a factory that was making tar made of tiles made of tar for roofing. And there were big ovens there that they were boiling the tar. So I knew about it, and I knew that it was somewhere near where they lived in Chrzanów. In 1987, I went for the first time to Poland. And when I told my parents about it, they just forbidden me. They said, oh no, you're not going. You know, and I was a grown-up woman. I didn't ask for permission or for money. So I was very surprised, you know, and angry at them. And the next day they came and they showed me the documents. They had very, very old documents that they brought from Poland. That these documents established that this part of Auschwitz-Birkenau camp was built on my grandfather's factory.
And your grandfather was actually gassed?
Yes.
At Auschwitz?
At Auschwitz.
On his own land?
Yes, and all his family. My aunt, my grandmother, my cousins. Nobody was left but my mother that had this courage to 1939 to take me and my brother and just to flee towards the Russian border. And that's how we were.
That's how you escaped?
Yes.
Where did you spend the war then?
We were in the labor camp in Siberia for 18 months, and then we were sent to Tajikistan, to the southern border near China, for 4 years, and afterwards we came back to Poland. When we came back to Poland, we thought that we came to our homeland. That's how we were educated, that's what we thought all the time. And we were met with, I can say,
no welcome.
Hatred, no welcome, hatred. We had a pogrom crossing the border. On the border, coming back, it was my birthday, and I was dressed in a beautiful dress. And suddenly the Polish police came and took all the people that had Jewish identity. They put them into a carriage, closed carriage like for cattle. And there was no air, on a small window, you know, and they closed the door, and a mob just came and they started throwing stones and grenades and shooting at us, and people were killed. And all my dress was covered with blood. And afterwards, my parents decided that in order to save us, as it was already in the communist regime and they couldn't leave, so they just sent us with a group of children that were saved by Jewish organizations from monasteries and, you know, from all over.
But when you went back, actually we do have a clip from the film. If we can actually see, this is you, Sipora, visiting the camp and walking through it.
This is the museum, isn't it, in the camp?
This is the museum in Auschwitz.
And what was going through your mind when you were doing that?
See, here I'm just saying to the filming crew that I can't go to it.
You can't.
It's too atrocious to think that I own even a part of it.
Yes.
And I am saying that my mother, she was right that she didn't want to talk about it. She didn't want any compensation money. She said it's money for blood. She just wanted to be left like this as a museum, and she was so consumed with guilt. All her life, she she kept silent about it. You know, first of all, she was consumed by guilt.
Why guilt? I don't understand that. Why would she feel guilty? I mean, the family had absolutely no power in this matter. The Germans seized the land, as they seized everything that belonged to the Jews, even their fillings.
Yes.
So why would your mother feel guilty?
First of all, she felt guilty because she left her family and fled. Maybe she tried to persuade them to come with her. Maybe she didn't talk, you know, too much about it. Maybe she was frightened and she just left.
It's
and
very
secondly,
common, isn't it? Because lots of survivors feel guilty.
Yes.
It's totally irrational,
Yes,
but,
it is
but
irrational.
very common. Yeah.
Well, you're entitled, as you say, the family is entitled under European law to compensation because the land was taken from you and you are the inheritor of that land now. What do you intend to do?
Well, there's a lot of property. So the other property, I'll claim it because it's like any other inheritance. But the Auschwitz camp, I can't. I can't. It is an irrational feeling. I know. I don't feel responsible for what happened there, like my mother. I don't feel guilty about it. But I feel this connection to the Auschwitz camp as if, you know, when I was there, I felt as if my family name is changed. I'm not Zipporah Frank, I'm Zipporah Auschwitz. It's something that I can't even grasp myself, why I feel...
This is actually your name, your family name.
My family name is Frank, Zipporah Frank, and you know, and I feel as if I'm so connected to this place, to this...
It should be Auschwitz.
Yes, to Auschwitz. So I feel as if whenever people are talking about Holocaust, I feel connected to it suddenly, much more than before, because I didn't feel a Holocaust child. I wasn't a Holocaust child.
No.
I was not in the camps. I was a survivor, but not a Holocaust child.
Well, how's life in Israel for you? Are you happy there?
Yes.
Yes.
And the strange thing is that I feel secure there, even if, you know, we are
Under threat? Yeah.
under threat all the time. From 3 parts of the land we have Arabs, and one is with the sea. And still I feel secure, and even now, the recent times when there was the war, that didn't happen with the Iraqis. I still felt that that's the place for me to be.
So you wouldn't go, I mean, even to the areas of land, not Auschwitz, but the other surrounding areas of land in Poland, you wouldn't think of going back to live?
No.
No, you'll stay in
And
Israel.
you know, and the reason